Beryl. I'm Beryl Boardman, and I live in Stockport. I'm 74 years old. I've come to tell you about what it was like to have a stroke and the aftermath of that as well. It was in September last year that I had the stroke. It was right out of the blue. I was on holiday with a friend in Exmouth. One morning when we woke up for breakfast, I was aware that something was not quite right. During breakfast, I couldn't speak, and then it came back, and then it was difficult at all. And so they called the emergency services, and I came to look at me and decided that I needed to go to hospital. And while I was in hospital, after a difficult period where I was not able to speak, I had a full-blown stroke. For some days I was in hospital in Exeter. I didn't know anybody or anything, and I didn't really understand what had happened to me. When I got to Stockport, I went into the stroke ward at Stepping Hill, and they were marvellous. They were absolutely wonderful to me. The thing that really impacted me was the speech. It was very difficult for me to begin to speak, even to say, the first things I could say was thank you, and it sounded wrong somehow. But I began to speak because speech therapies came for Stepping Hill, and they were very good, and they helped me to learn how to speak again. It was slow progress. It was very slow. I did have some other problems. When I had the stroke, something affected my right side. It was the leg that wasn't working properly, on the leg and the arm a little bit, but also on the right hand of my sight wasn't good. So that when I was able to get out of bed, and sometimes I would just walk into things because I wasn't aware of this side of that was visually impacted. And so eventually those got better, and the lead got better, and the vision got better as well. I began to remember how to do things, like how to do up the pajama top and things like that. And the occupational therapists, they helped me. They helped me how to use a shower, and that was because I couldn't remember what things to get. I get in the shower and think, I haven't got the shampoo and things of that nature. But eventually I got that right, and so I was able to look after myself, to dress myself, and things of that nature. The physiotherapies assessed me, and they decided that I was okay. They tested me to how get up the stairs, and how could walk round, and eventually they decided I had a visit to come home, which was very nice to come home with. It came with an occupational therapy, and they checked that I could go upstairs, I could wash myself and bathe myself and everything else, and I had to make a cup of tea and try things out for myself. But then the following day they decided I would go home. I would go home, but without any particular help, that I was okay. After I came out of hospital, I was home, and then it was a couple of weeks, perhaps 2 weeks, before someone came from the Stroke Association. And during that time, those 2 weeks, it was very hard, because I didn't know where I was up to, where I was going, who would help me with things, and I found that was quite a long time. It was terrifying when I was on my own, when everybody had gone and I was left at home, and I thought, this is it, I've got to look after everything, I've got to be able to do things myself. And it was a very frightening kind of things, because I thought, well, I couldn't answer the phone because of my speech. I couldn't, when the post came, I didn't understand what it was because I couldn't read it. I couldn't manage the television. I didn't know how to change a channel. But the big thing for me was I love reading, but I wasn't able to read. I wasn't able to concentrate on looking at the television. So it was very hard, and I felt quite alone, really. And I was afraid. I went to bed and thought, well, how would I manage? How will I be all right? Will something go wrong? Will I need to get up? And it was very frightening, that being totally alone. And I could have had some help, I think, with one or two things at first. I was very grateful for the Stroke Association to come and see me and to give me some help or some ideas, but I don't think they perhaps don't have the resources to help people like me, but especially people who don't have the support of a network of friends and family who would perhaps be able to help them professionally, really. Because I know I didn't need a physiotherapy and I didn't need occupational therapy, although perhaps some of that might have helped me a little bit in the initial stages. But I do think that those people would be able to help how to cope with stroke at first, especially in those first few weeks when it was so terrifying for me to have a life on my own and to begin to pick up the pieces of your life.